Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. This is going to be a little bit of a quick take on a couple of new fragrances that Zoologist has released. They're not super new. I think both were released like a couple months ago, but I got my samples like a month ago, and I wanted to give you guys some thoughts on these. Before I go into them, and the fragrances we're going to talk about are called Hyrax and Moth. I did just want to reiterate my admiration for Victor and Zoologist. I think this is, easily one of my top 5 indie brands out there. I think Victor's passion, his eye for perfumers, his willingness to take risks, and be unique is just unparalleled, and I just really like him. I've had several interactions with him, online. I consider him a friend. I think he's a great guy, and I'm trying to become a perfumer as I work and hopefully start to complete fragrances. I want to have him evaluate my work. I just really think that Zoologist and Victor are great for the perfume world, and I can't state that enough. I don't love everything they put out, but I think everything is quality, and I think almost everything is interesting, and it serves a purpose. So I want to say that. And I think what's also awesome is, I haven't done it. I'm going to do a video on Luca Turin's new book, but I was really happy to see Zoologist get praise in that book. I think they deserve it. There were some other things I'm unhappy with in the book, some other brands out there that I love that I don't feel like got necessarily a fair shake, but I feel like Zoologist did, and I'm thrilled with that. So I just wanted to echo that, and I'm glad Luca Turin sort of got there. I think they got a couple of 4-star reviews. I think Rhino and Nightingale, there were some 3-star reviews, and I think maybe 1 or 2 2-star reviews, but he didn't review my favorite, which kind of bugged me, which is the original Beaver, which has now been reformulated. That's always, that's been my favorite, and maybe something will come along that knocks that off the pedestal. But Victor always looks out, and he sent me samples of 2 of the newest, and we're just going to get right into them. And so we'll start with Moth. And before I show you the art and read you the description, I do have a moth problem in my house, so this one kind of touches close to home. I can't get my apartment properly fumigated right now for crazy reasons, but they're murdering me. They're eating through like a lot of very expensive clothing. I have mothballs and moth things in my closet, so I'm very well acquainted with moths right now. Anyway, I'm trying not going to hold that against Victor. Anyway, there's the art on Moth. I'm going to read you the copy. Their days are spent secluded in the camouflage. The intricate pattern of their wings disguising them against a coarse backdrop of barks and rocks. When they finally stir, even their flight is concealed, shrouded beneath the cover of night. Moonlight ripples off a delicate coating of tiny hairs as their feathered antennae guide them in search for a mate. Only one temptation can lure them from their quest. Should they succumb to the attraction of the flame, the urge to procreate may be quashed in a wisp of smoke and a smattering of ashes. So there's Moth. Moth was created by Tuma. I think it's Anabe. This is a perfumer that Victor likes working with. Also did Nightingale. And the notes on Moth are black pepper, cinnamon, clove, cumin, lemon, nutmeg, saffron, heliotrope, iris, jasmine, mimosa, lily of the valley, rose, ambergris, honey, resins, gaiac wood, musk, cypriol oil, oud, patchouli, smoke, and vetiver. 60 ml eau de parfum, $145. I believe this is 20% concentration. On the website, you can also grab travel sprays for $40 and purchase samples and travel spray sets. So this one, man, this is interesting. I totally get the moth theme here. When I first sprayed this, I was like, mothballs for a second. Not very appealing, although I do have a friend, a guy who works for me, who loves the scent of mothballs. I don't. I get it's a clean, sort of sterile smell, but I don't think it's very attractive personally. Honey. Honey sticks out in this one for me quite a bit. You can't really do natural honey in perfumery. I think there's like one place I've seen that sells some sort of honey absolute. It's very expensive. I don't even know if it's real. I know beeswax I have beeswax absolute or beeswax. See, I forget which one it is. I have some sort of beeswax material. It doesn't smell like honey to me at all. Beeswax and honey are very different for me personally. I get honey out of this, so I'm wondering if it's perhaps one of the synthetics or an accord and mimosa. I get like a yellow floral note here. Honey. It's sweet. It's very floral. It kind of smells like a vintage floral fragrance. It's not something I'd wear. To me, this is feminine. Wear what you like, wear what you want. This to me, I'd like this more in a woman personally. But I think this is very good. It's just not my style. This is one of those fragrances for me, and there's not a ton of them. You hear me talk about this sometimes where there's so much depth to it that it's hard to pick out individual notes, and this is sort of like that. I feel like it's really jam-packed with what's in there. So it's hard for me to really accurately explain this one. I feel like this is one where you kind of need to get a sample. But it's a yellow floral with resins and honey and spice. It's very big. It would be perfect for a very confident woman, perhaps a more mature woman, not like a 70-year-old. I'm talking about like a 30 to 40 middle-aged woman who's just very sure of herself. This is just a lot going on. It's very different than Nightingale, which to me was a little bit more simple and sweet. This is just dense and packed. Really, really, really nice. The dry down is a little bit smoky. This is just a lot going on. It's a really good fragrance. I need really time to pick this one apart. The next one is called Hyrax, and this was done by Sven. I'm always going to pronounce the last name. I think it's Pritzkeli, Sven Pritzkeli. Sven and I are old buddies. I was reviewing his fragrances a long time ago. I think before a lot of people in Fracom knew who he was. He was nice enough to send me bottles of Savannah Intense and Suntan Glam. I love almost all of his work. Talking about the Luca Turin book, he caught a raw deal there. But notes on this one are elemi, pink pepper, saffron, Turkish rose, Hyrax, hyacinth, styrax, whiskey, amber, benzoin, castoreum, civet, patchouli, sandalwood, and tonka. Same price. And this one is available exclusively on Victor's website and Lucky Scent. It was exclusive for Lucky Scent, other retail-wise. And this one is not vegan. It contains African stone, which is a byproduct of Hyrax. It's something that the animal leaves behind. It's harvested. It's actually a stone sort of material formed by the Hyrax excrement in urine after hundreds or thousands of years. So it takes on a very interesting smell, and I'm not going to lie, it's one of the few materials I want that I don't have raw yet, but I will get a Hyrax at some point. Now this one, man, this one's big. This is a big fragrance, guys. And it's animalic, it's dirty, it's dark, I get fecal notes in this one. But the same way that I like Beaver, I like this a lot. I don't know if I'd wear this. I'm not sure if I have the balls to wear this. And you guys have heard me talk in videos like my starting lineups. Well, there's nothing daring to me. I don't have a daring fragrance, because what's daring? you know, unless you smear yourself with a Assam oud. This is daring. This is a daring fragrance. This smells expensive. This smells like there was thought and care put into it. This to me, oh, let me also show you the little art, and then I'll read the copy after I express my final thoughts. This to me smells like everything a zoologist fragrance should be. This is at the heart of zoologist fragrance. This smells animalic, but also like a perfume someone could wear. I just think you have to be the right person to wear this. The copy on this one: climbing to its perch in the morning sky, the African sun reaches across a mountain range to caress a wide, flat boulder, baking it to a gentle heat. From the shade of a narrow crevice, a family of hyrax emerges, hot dust dulling the sheen of their golden fur. As the heat from sweltering sun intensifies, ancient aromas are coaxed from their scorched rocks, sparse vegetation, and petrified Hyraceum. Eerily, they intertwine to form a scent that is both primitive and exotic, its animalistic tendencies tamed by an undercurrent of sweet florals. Gotta love the fez my boy's rocking. Yeah, this is hard. This is hardcore, man. This is hard body karate, as Mike Rappaport would say. This is a quick take on both of these fragrances. These are, to me, I would say, honestly, the two most complex fragrances Zoologist has ever released. And I just need to really study them more. They're just, if you're the type of consumer that likes puzzle fragrances, wants something new every time you spray them on, wants to really unlock what's going on in the scent, you can't do better than these two. They're nuanced, there's depth, they're challenging, they're different, they're bold, and the quality is just second to none. So I know this isn't like, hey, I heartily endorse these or I dislike them. I don't dislike either. I heartily endorse both for people who love challenging fragrances. But you need to really do your own work on these, because these are puzzles almost. These are fragrance puzzles, and they're both just exceptionally well done puzzles. So that's all I'm gonna give you for now. You know, maybe one day we'll talk about these again. But I really enjoy both of them, and I haven't smelled anything this interesting this year, I don't think. So thank you, Victor. You know, Sven and Tilma. I think you guys are amazing at what you do, and I'll see you soon with more videos. I'm going to link to the Zoologist website. Again, if you love perfume and you don't at least get samples of these, then I don't know what you're doing. You know, this is not Acqua di Gio Profumo. This is not Invictus Aqua. This is the entire other side of the store. You have to go all the way across to get to this aisle. That's what I think. So anyway, guys, my name is Maximilian. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Zoologist website link. I'll see you guys.